welcome to the Questionnaires podcast, where each week we source the best questions from Yahoo Answers and attempt to provide the best advice from...
Why do I walk around when I'm talking to someone over the phone?
To...
Why do porn websites have a share button?
We're here to prove that every question deserves an answer. Join with me via correspondent this week is Marcus.
Hello, Tom.
And Damien.
Hello from the edge of the world, Tom. How are you going?
I'm very well. Can we maybe... Who wants to explain what's going on here?
All right.
I think Marcus should
Marcus,
give
we have
you're kind of the reason.
Marcus, we just decided we had a raise the hand situation going on because we are on Skype at the moment.
Yes.
speak.
So we're currently on Skype. We're recording via or through Skype because of these damn coronavirus. My girlfriend, or fiance, I should say, is well known to be a doctor and recently had to be swabbed. So my fellow podcasteers have said, no, we're not going to record with you in the same room. So we're trying this Skype version out.
Hang on, we did not say that. You're the one who suggested it.
I volunteered this. It
was your idea, but like we thought, look, we could always just say, look, no recording this week. But we thought, let's give it a go and see what happens, and it could be it could work.
And given our royal bloodline, we can't be getting things like coronavirus. We get rich man's diseases like gout, that type of thing, you know?
Exactly. Too much glutton. That's what I want.
Right.
I eat too much. Look, I don't have the virus. The only thing I've got is a fucking sore back. You know, that's about it. I don't think the virus is that.
You are just exercising caution. I understand, and we appreciate that.
It's the safer.
Like you said, we can't get everybody sick.
It's a safer thing to do.
This podcast could be a train wreck, given that comedy is all about timing and there is a major delay on the podcast. But we figured, given that it seems like everything in the world is being cancelled, the questionnaires cannot be cancelled. We want to provide entertainment to people and hopefully get their minds off all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world right now.
The rule was any gatherings of larger than 500, and there's only 3 of us, so we should have really just still done it. But we took that a bit too seriously.
The world needs laughter, guys. The world needs laughter, and hopefully we can provide laughter and advice.
We'll try and do that.
How can we laugh if the clowns get sick?
That's a very good point. We will try and do that. We're going to try and record an episode this way. We're hoping it's not going to drop out and be a complete disaster. But if so, hey, whatever. We might even upload it anyway. That's what we're going through right now. The way the show works is we choose questions from the website Yahoo Answers. We try to provide some advice to help these people on their way. That's the way it works. That's the way we do it every week, whether we're in the same room or not. You can see the show still will go on. So the other thing that we do is we choose a theme for each week to name the question askers. And whose theme is it this week?
It is mine.
It's Damien's.
Yes.
Okay. So Damien, what you got?
I was having a conversation with Marcus the other day about we were trying to send each other songs that were like, okay, you definitely won't like this song. Okay. And as a joke, every song Marcus sent me, I was just like, no, I love that song. It's great. And he just couldn't. And as a result, he couldn't find a song that I hated. So I just want, if I threw the question at you to say, what song do you hate? Like, what's your visceral response of a song you just irrationally hate for some reason?
Okay.
That's all I need.
Okay, song you hate. Yeah. I've got one.
Right. Go, Tom.
The song that I hate is, I believe it's called I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
Do you love that, Damien?
No. No, I'm not going to be contrarian to you. It was only just to annoy Marcus. Why do you hate the song?
I feel like
it's all about positivity, Tom.
Yeah, but I feel like it's literally the Black Eyed Peas were trying to be like, let's write a song that is going to be the pump-up song for people pre-gaming before they go out. They're going to have the best night of their life, and this is the song that they're going to be singing in the cab ride over. I just think it's a little bit, they're pandering to try and make a bit of money.
I absolutely agree, but I think they should be commended that they were able to make a hit song where one of the verses is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They literally just say the days of the week.
Party every day, party every day. All right, so let's go in with this from I Got a Feeling. Tonight's going to be a good night, whatever it's called. Okay. Friend problem. My friend handed me his phone to watch a video. When I was done watching, I said, "Here, catch," and threw it back to him. He clumsily dropped it and the screen cracked. Now he's demanding I pay for a new screen. I don't see how it's my responsibility. He failed to catch it. Not my fault, right? I got a feeling.
I got a feeling. Ooh.
I got an answer.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's the answer?
A similar thing happened to me with my cousin who was on his phone. And I bounced the ball. I bounced a ball towards him, and it happened to the ball had bounced under his hand and then bounced up and smacked the back of his hand, and then it just launched his phone into the X. He didn't see the ball coming, right?
Right.
Like I made an inadvertent catapult, and his phone went flying. And we got into an argument about who had to pay for the cracked screen. So at the time, I think it was like the latest iPhone. Right. So the screen was going to be like $400. So it's like, oh, well, I didn't mean it. I'm like, I just bounced the ball. I didn't, it became this dumb argument where I was like, well,
your reflexes should have.
I can't afford that much money. So I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I could say, as long as it didn't end with the ball being taken to court, because that's just unfair.
It wasn't the ball's fault, Damien. It wasn't the ball's fault.
But like,
it was my fault. I put the ball in motion. So
yeah,
this sort of situation is like tough though, because I feel like there's always that unspoken rule that the last person to touch it, sort of, if it breaks, it's your responsibility, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
and like
it tends to be that way. Yeah.
You can be in that situation, though, where you've just been like, something could be perfectly working fine, just doing its thing, living its life. And then you've just so happened to give something a go and it breaks. And then everyone's just like, oh, okay, you broke it. You broke it.
Yeah.
It happens.
In my situation, who do you think is responsible? He's holding the phone. I bounce the ball towards him. It happens to smack the phone out of his hands.
Was he paying attention when you threw or bounced the ball to him? Like, was there eye contact?
He was not. I was intending to bounce the ball into his balls, but I missed.
So instead of causing him damage like on a personal level, you're causing damage on a phone level.
Yes.
I feel like, look, at the end of the day, you were 16. You're not to know. But in that situation, you might have been like, sort of, why did you do that? Like, you're trying to be Mr. Funny Pants, and instead you're Mr. Break My Phone Pants.
Ball breaker.
Because my intent was to harm, and I did harm him regardless. So
you probably did worse harm.
But do you know what? I feel really bad after like we came to a settlement where I agreed to pay for it because it was my fault. We went to the phone place, got his phone fixed, got back to his house. And as he got out of the car, he forgot his phone was on and had just across the street and break the screen immediately.
You are joking.
Back in the car and go straight back to the phone store to get it fixed again.
Oh, my God.
And he paid for it that time?
Well, that was his fault that time.
Yeah.
Well, at least justice evens out. Sense. I guess this sort of thing happened to us the other night, though, Marcus, when we were together and someone spilled a drink on another person's laptop.
100%, yeah.
And it was a bit of an awkward situation.
The person that Damien's actually talking about, the cousin that he was speaking about, is probably the same person that spilled the drink on the other laptop.
So they've got so he's got a track record of being involved in these sort of incidents.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're at a gathering. We had laptops out. There was a fair few laptops out, and just so happened, I don't know how it happened, but
I missed
a full beer sort of spilled onto our other friend's laptop, and look, there was beer going into the laptop. Yeah. Like, you could see it's like, oh no, this is going.
It was going into the laptop and it wasn't coming out. It's not like it was you could pour it out. It was like the laptop was drinking it. It was a little bit buzzed, I thought, that laptop after a couple of sips of that.
Yeah. Oh man, it was. You could see he was using the mouse pad, like he was going left and it was going right. It was fucking. It was having a bad time. It was actually every time he was typing A B C D, it was going like Z Y X W.
It started yelling slurs at him, like typing slurs.
Hang on. I can't tell if Marcus was joking about that last part or was that actually happening?
No, we're just joking about it being drunk.
Okay. Oh man, it's so hard to tell. For some reason, like over like Skype, I cannot tell when you guys are making jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're perpetually in a business meeting is what it feels like.
So yeah, let's take that offline, boys.
Let's take that joke offline, guys. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to get it over here. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, you go for it.
I was going to say, Marcus, have you ever been in a situation where you've broken something? Now, I see the smile creeping over your face because I feel like I've witnessed you break something.
Yeah. Look, I have been known, especially in my younger days, maybe late teens, that I was known as someone who used to just fiddle with things like objects and little toys or whatever it is because my hands need to be busy.
You've heard of the Riddler. Marcus is the fiddler. and he doesn't play a violin.
Yeah, fiddler on the roof. Anyway, and my mate had, Tom, you were there. Yep. My mate had a keychain that on one, like, it was like a round thing, and then on one side was the keychain, on the other side was like a cord that sort of like
extends.
What is it, retractable cord?
Yeah, it's sort of like one of those keys that you attach to your like belt, and you can extend your key to the door, and then you let go, and it sort of retracts back to your belt.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway, I don't know what I was doing with the thing, but I was like, opening it, closing it, opening it, closing it, opening it, and closing it. Eventually, I broke. However, I just failed to mention that I broke it to my friend at that stage.
Yep.
So I
when you say you failed to mention it, do you mean you were hiding it because you're a cheeky devil?
I don't know if I intentionally hit it, but it was more of a case of, I've broken it, so I just left it there. I was like,
it never came up.
Hopefully he doesn't notice it.
Hopefully it doesn't come up and he doesn't ask. You didn't ask if it was broken.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I was like, hey, man, guess what? I broke your thing. I was just, I'm going to put that bet down.
And how did this resolve itself?
The next day, I get a text. Well, actually, I think it was a group text or maybe a phone call where he's like, "You fucking bastard, Marcus! You broke my fucking keychain." And I went to work and it wasn't working. And I know it was you because it's always you. You always fiddle with this shit. And
I'm just imagining him like gathering his coworkers around. He's like, "Check this stuff out. Check out my retractable keychain," and goes to pull it out, and nothing happens.
Yeah, like he puts it into the key, undoes it, lets go, and it just swings to the floor. It's just dragging behind him.
Yeah. So I've been known to break those. I've been known to break those things, and I feel like there's every now and then, like I get like a phone in my hand, I'm always extra cautious, not because of that story, but like I'm like, if it breaks on my hands, I'm like, I don't want to be the one that fucks like has to deal with it. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool, give it back. I don't want to deal with it. I was gonna say it has happened the other way around, where I've given something like my phone to somebody and they've dropped it and cracked the screen.
Ooh.
And what happened with that time was I had a friend, like it was one of my friends who goes, "Oh fuck, I fucked up." He goes, "I'll repair the screen for you." And I said, "It's okay. I've got a new phone. This is an old phone." I said, "If you can repair the screen, go nuts. Like that'll be great. If you can't and you break it, then whatever. It is what it is." Right. He completely foobarred my screen and my phone, and I have no more phone, no more backup phone anyway.
And no hard feelings or.
No. I live with the guy, so I gave him free reign. I said to him, "Look, my screen's broken. Go for it. See if you can try and fix it. If you can, you can. If you can't, oh well, I've lost the phone," which was a backup phone anyway, so I didn't care.
This question's hard because I feel like in this situation, your friend is not aiming to break your phone, right? They're just looking at a video and they happen to drop it. So it does feel a bit weird to kind of turn the screws on them to get money out of it.
Just to mention, though, this situation, he did say catch and threw the phone back to him.
True. That was reckless.
I mean, you got to assume if someone throws my phone to me, I think on every other day I'd be good at catching it, but the nerves sort of settle in. You start to get clammy. You know how expensive that is. And I could drop it. I most likely would.
And being a dad, that's the most excitement you see now, Tom, isn't it?
Exactly. That's 100%. I'm like, well, my heart is racing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to sit down.
Yeah, please.
So what do you think in this situation, Tom? Would you, if a friend basically decided to play gridiron with your phone and said go long?
Yeah.
Would you say, well, the blood is on your hands?
I would.
I would have to pay.
I would say that. I mean, if he's done that to me and he's chosen to throw it. I didn't say here, throw it back to me. If I said here, throw it this way, and I dropped it, then I would say, yeah, fair enough. That would be my problem. But I didn't say that. He's decided to throw it. So that's my idea is that you are responsible as the thrower. You don't throw expensive devices around like that. It's not on.
Nah.
Has anybody had your baby and said, "Hey, Tom, catch"?
No. And don't try to work that in somehow, because I won't find it funny, even if it is a podcast reference now.
Hey, Tom,
I don't see the humor in it. I do not see the humor in it.
Fair enough.
Marcus, what do you think of this guy?
I think it's yeah, you're right. If he just intentionally threw this, well, not intentionally, but if he threw this phone without you realizing he's going to throw it and then it dropped and all that, and it's like, all right. But I can also see the argument of, well, if you're a bad catch, like if it was a delicate throw, if it was a very easy throw, and he just dropped it, do you think that's on like sort of him as well?
No, I think it was never in his right to throw the phone. I mean, you could sort of make fun of him for it, but you'd have to pay for it if that was the situation.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the thrower has to pay. But how do you get the money? How do you extract money from this man if he doesn't want to pay it?
Good question.
Yeah, well, like with my story, I realize I was the one responsible, so I would happily pay. I was 16 at the time, a bit stupid. I think a good way to this could backfire on you, but I think when it comes to those things, if you have other friends, the way you can guilt the other person is to basically bring it to your friendship group. Be like, tell me what you would do if this